Fans are used to having the pitcher be the star of the game. But last night, staff ace Madison Bumgarner took it to a new level with a grand slam. Today, another ace on the Giants staff will try to get back on track. Matt Cain looks to shake off a rough start to the season and rebound in Game 2 of the series. It's the Giants, and it's the Rockies, and it's next.
Day baseball here in San Francisco as we come to you from AT&T Park. Game 2 of this 3-game series, Rockies and Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Really nice win for the Giants last night. And today, Mike, I think it's about this. It's clean up the defense and a good start from a starter.
I agree 100%. If you look back at the numbers historically that these two teams have had in this ballpark, it seems to favor the Giants. Giants are 83-43 against the Rockies here all time. They have won 14 of the last 16 against the Rockies here in this ballpark. And Matt Cain is 17-7 lifetime against them. But in order for that to continue, Matt Cain has to locate his fastball better. He has to hit his spots. And the defense has to make better mental decisions. They're not beating themselves so much with their gloves, but they're not playing smart. And that has to tighten up.
All right, should be a good one here at AT&T Park. When we come back, we will have the lineups on the first pitch right after this.
Is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try the new Bacon Insider at Jack in the Box. It's got bacon mixed right into the patty at participating restaurants. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
Beautiful day here in San Francisco at AT&T Park. So beautiful, our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open for spring break, 12th through the 20th. 59 degrees here at the yard. The wind's a bit brisk. The humidity at 71%, and there's some puffy clouds in the air. Let's take a look at the Rockies lineup. This is the lineup that'll be facing Matt Cain. It'll be the red hot Blackman, followed by Barnes, and then Gonzalez. Tulowitzki's got the big numbers against Matt Cain, followed by Rosario. Morneau is going to hit in the 6th slot. Then it's Arenado, LeMahieu, and Brett Anderson will pitch in bat 9.
On the hill tonight today for the Giants is Matt Cain, making his 3rd start of the year. Still looking for win number 1, ERA at 5.73. 15 base runners and 11 innings pitched with 5 strikeouts against those 2 walks. You'll see a fastball low 90s. He'll 2 and 4 seams. He'll cut it. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup. He'll throw anything any time. Lifetime against these Rockies, 17-7.
First pitch of the ball game is a called strike. So we get started at 105. Blackman had a pinch hit single in the game last night as he takes down low. Overall, he's hitting .486. That's right. He's a hit away from hitting .500. He's got a home run. He's got 9 driven in. That average does lead the major leagues. Sandoval in on the edge of the grass at 3rd, and the 1-1 is low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Blackman is 2 for 6 in his career against Cain. With Brandon Barnes on deck, and a strike. It's 2-2, and that's called by Marvin Hudson.
Marvin Hudson, I think, prefers the low strike. He will move that zone around. It can be inconsistent, and at times you think this guy does not like to ring hitters up on strike 3.
Gibson, Scott, and Asonia around from 1st to 3rd, and there's a base hit into left field, and Blackman stays hot.
Let's take a look at that defense playing behind Matt Cain today for the Giants. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Morse, Pagan, and Pence. Best arm in right field with Pence. Crawford and Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Arias and Posey on the right side. And Hector Sanchez will be in the squad, putting down the signs. Brandon Belt with a day off today.
So here's Brandon Barnes. Barnes was in the leadoff spot last night. He had a couple of hits. He had some good at-bats against Madison Bumgarner. Notably, a couple of balls that he drove to right field. Here he takes it inside, 1-0. Yeah, you got to bring a friend to the yard.
Well, yeah. I have no problem with that.
Barnes hitting .263.
I think she takes that friend everywhere she goes.
Snap throw, and diving back is Blackman. Blackman's got a couple of steals. He's also been thrown out twice. And there's Carlos Gonzalez. So it's 1-0 to Brandon Barnes. Crawford and Arias at double play depth in the middle of the diamond. The pitch at the knees to even the count.
Cain definitely has established the low part of the strike zone early in this game. Matt Cain fan right there.
So Brandon Barnes waiting on Cain, and Cain looking into Hector Sanchez. And that is thrown down the right field line. Now they ought to. Arias is going to get to it quickly. And Cain with an error, and now at second base is Blackman.
Buster Posey probably could have made that play of it from that angle. And looking at it at that angle, no chance to make the play.
No chance.
That ball got thrown right into the runner. Kind of got blocked out by the shoulder of Blackman.
So now Blackman at second base with nobody out. And a foul back, 1-2. Pretty good rip. That looked like it might have been up in the strike zone.
Let's take a look at our Nissan keys to the game, and we're going to take a look at the Cain and Tulowitzki matchup. And that has so far been a very tough matchup for Matt Cain. Tulowitzki with with 4 home runs lifetime against him, hitting over 300. And the other thing, no more mental mistakes. The Giants really have gotten into a bad habit of making mental errors, and that has to tighten up, and those are our Nissan keys to the game.
A high fastball, and that evens the count at 2-2.
That has always been a real good strikeout pitch for Matt Cain, that high fastball across the letters, especially when he establishes the knee-high location early in the count. And from that perspective, that's a pretty good take right there from Brandon Barnes. It's not an easy pitch to let go by when you're protecting.
The pitch. Got him.
Again, he goes upstairs with cut movement, and that's the strikeout he was pitching for. Runner at second, nobody on. You automatically go in the strikeout mode, and he humps up and blows him away with a cut fastball across the letters. Take a look at our Exmo. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer, the compact delivery, which enables a very consistent arm stroke of Matt Cain. Not a whole lot different from the delivery he showed up in the big leagues with when he was just 20 years old, 8.5 years ago.
So here's Carlos Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Very odd to see what Cain has done against Gonzalez. You would think that the great hitter that Gonzalez is, he might have a little bit of ownage on Cain. Couldn't be more the opposite. Gonzalez is 4 for 41 against Cain with 16 strikeouts.
And the big problem is he cannot see that changeup out of the hand of Cain, and it has always been an equalizer for Cain.
He saw one nicely off of Bumgarner last night. He hit one into the water. As you see Tulowitzki on deck. So Blackmon at second base. 1 out. Just underway here at AT&T Park. 2 balls and a strike. This was the home run yesterday. Watch this flat swing.
They set up in the outside corner with a breaking ball, and in a 3-2 count, Madison Bumgarner lays it middle in. He doesn't get it to the location, and there's the result. Second time in Carlos Gonzalez's career he's gone in the pond. And that was an impressive swing of the bat at the time that gave the Rockies a 2-run lead.
Sandoval, a long run. Sandoval is going to make the catch. Right down there by our ball dude, who wisely got out of the way. Nice play, 2 outs. He's pretty good on pop-ups.
Yes, he is. Darryl Galt, our ball dude on the third base side. All you got to do is give the Panda some room. That is exactly in ball dude territory.
Yeah, look how close he comes to brushing up against that side fence.
Carlos Gonzalez not happy. He lets a RBI opportunity slip right by. There's
so here's
Galt.
Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki looks at a strike. He ended the game by being called out on strikes, of which he was very unhappy. She will be happy as long as that bag of popcorn stays quite full. I feel the same way. One ball and 1 strike.
A little low with the changeup, but I like the 2-pitch combo. Right now, he's really not worried so much about establishing that slider, the curl, because the fastball and the changeup have been so good. Oh yeah, that was a happy face.
Tulowitzki, 5 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs lifetime against Cain in 58 at bats. And he gets underneath this one to left field with Morse coming in, and that'll end the inning. I think he just missed it. Giants are coming up. Anderson coming out. in the first inning. Now it's time for the Giants, and here's their lineup facing Brett Anderson. Pagan back in the lineup after a night off last night, followed by Pence, Sandoval, and Buster Posey. Michael Morris, he's been red hot, and we like to see his at-bats. Hector Sanchez back behind the dish. Arias and Crawford 7th and 8th, and Kane 9th.
On the hill today for the Colorado Rockies will be Brett Anderson, a 26-year-old left-hander. Big guy, 6'4", 225 pounds, out of Midland, Texas. And this is what he has done in 2 starts. Still looking for win number 1. He's given up 19 base runners and 12 hits allowed. 3 strikeouts against 4 base on balls. He's got a low 90s fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. And if his command is good, he's going to give you fits. He's got good stuff, and he likes to work extremely fast. He's a get-it-and-go guy. And for the most part, when he goes really quick, you're going to see sinkers and sliders, and those are his 2 primary pitches. He'll put a lot of balls on the ground, and like a lot of good sinker ballers, they work that quick pace. Right time against the Giants.
Here's the pitch. 0-2.
0-2 with a 7.00 ERA. Would have picked me up.
I don't like having you not watching the field. That's your best quality.
Thank you, partner.
Right back to where it came from, and Anderson's going to throw out Pagan.
Take a look at the Rockies' defense. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Gonzalez, Blackman, and Barnes. The best arm is in left field. It is lights out. Tulowitzki and Arenado on the left side of the infield. LeMahieu and Morneau on the right side. And Willeen Rosario back in the lineup. He'll be in the squad putting down the signs. And he's got a great arm.
Here's Pence.
Smile smooth.
Oh, yeah. Pence takes a pitch just high. Pence has a couple of doubles in his last 9 at-bats. Overall, 7 for 45, and there's a strike. Last night, Hunter Pence went 1 for 4. Hit a double down the left field line. And he shoots this one to right, and he's got a base hit.
Anderson backed up the breaking ball and elevated just a little bit. Pretty good pitch to hit. And the key, Hunter Pence goes the opposite way. And that's how you beat a hanger.
You'd think that left leg would get tired by June, as high as he lifts it and kicks it and lands on it. But last year, started every game. Here's Sandoval. I asked Pence, with Bruce Bochy standing there, how he would feel when Bruce Bochy gives him a day off. You know what he said?
What?
My feelings would be hurt. And Bochy's like, well, I've had guys get mad at me. I've had them yell at me. I'm not sure I've ever had a guy where he said it like Pence said it.
You'd hurt my feelings, Skipper. Hey, I bet he was serious.
He was. Quick 0-2 to the Panda and a quick 0-3.
Frustrating at bat.
So here's Buster Posey. Buster Posey got to watch 9 innings last night. Very unusual when Buster Posey gets a day off, where he does get a full day off. Usually somehow gets a pinch hit appearance. He chops it foul, and it's 0-1.
Well, it's
a night true day off.
A bonus where he gets that true day off and the Giants win. He has had a great swing all spring long.
1 ball and 1 strike. He's at 351, 3 home runs, 7 driven in. And a strike. It's 1-2.
Buster Posey, you talk to him about hitting, listen to what he says about hitting, and he is wise beyond his age. And it's a very simple approach. He likes to stay in one piece. He doesn't do a lot of extra batting practice because it wears you out. There's a lot of tee work. He does his batting practice on the field. I'm good to go. But
way out in front of that fastball. It's 1-2.
But mechanically, he's as solid as anybody in this game.
Rolls it foul. Another breaking ball.
Watch Michael Morris in the on-deck circle. I mean,
Smokes, he keeps that up, he's going to be down the left field line.
He'll be in the parking lot by the 3rd inning.
One and two. And now Anderson will step off. Just underway, bottom of the 1st.
And if you come to the ballpark, watch 2 guys in the on-deck circle. Watch Hunter Pence and watch Michael Morris. It's not often that guys are as entertaining in the on-deck circle as they are in the batter's box, but they are.
One ball, 2 strikes. Two and 2.
Yep. Get your orange on, head to the yard. You cannot put that on and not have a good attitude. It's impossible.
Morneau holding on Pence. On the ground to short. Tulowitzki shovels it to LeMahieu, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left. After 1, 0-0. It comes from Madison Bumgarner on checking the lineup today with Bruce Bochy. And Bumgarner said, I thought if you hit a homer, you're in there the next day. Well, at the play ball luncheon, Bruce Bochy did say, anybody who hits a home run is in there the next day. Anybody that hits a grand slam is in there for a week. And John Miller was telling us that after he did his KNBR show with Boch, that Bumgarner came into the office and said to the skipper, "You lied to me." You lied to me.
You lied to me.
Here's Willeen Rosario. Here's the pitch. John then asked the next question. It was a good one. He said, "Well, what position would you play? Would you play first base?" He goes, "No, shortstop."
Of course.
No balls and 1 strike. Swinging a foul off the end of the bat. Nothing in 2. All-time grand slams by Giants pitchers. You will notice that in the San Francisco era, only 2, Estes and Bumgarner. Pretty impressive. 0-2 pitch coming up. And he just got a piece. It stays at 0-2. Estes has got to be thrilled. He's like back in the news for 12 hours.
That's the greatest part about this game. You can do something 15 years ago, and all of a sudden somebody does it, and they say the last time it happened, and you're back in it.
Back in the news. Here's Sanchez is going to throw out Rosario.
Well, time now for our Togo's big play, the Togo's way. We're going to take a look at that swing of the bat from Madison Bumgarner. And remember, the Giants were down the score. And with 1 swing of the bat on a challenge first pitch fastball, he does this. It's halfway up the bleachers, and Bumgarner, when he hit it, he just lowered his head and started his trot. He knew it. 3rd home run in his career. And when he's all said and done, he's going to have double-digit figures of home runs, no doubt.
Here's Justin Morneau. Giants saw Morneau in the 9th inning as a pinch hitter last night. He really got called out on a tough pitch by the home plate umpire, which was Dan Asogna. I think everybody around the ballpark agreed that that was not a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. But that man right there will forever be known, if you're a great Giants fan, for calling out Prince Fielder in Game 2 of the World Series in 2012 at home plate. When by all rights it looked like Prince Fielder was safe.
Well, and Prince Fielder was livid. He lit up Dan Asogna until he got back to the dugout and was told Dan Asogna was right. He got you. It was a great call by plate umpire.
Tap foul. It stays at 1-2.
But I think things have definitely gotten easier for the umpires.
Yeah.
With
really
replay?
Less confrontation, that's for sure.
Yeah. We haven't seen any real adamant arguments from umpires and managers this year yet.
Pulled foul right at the end of the dugout. That's Pete Alonso, who always comes prepared. A couple of knee braces, sweatbands, glasses, probably got his cup on. There's Pete. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but didn't make the play.
Yeah.
Same hands.
Is he blaming injury on that?
Always blames injury.
An old hockey guy should never blame it on an injury. 1-2 pitch in tight to Morneau, the former Twin. Overshift is on for Morneau, and he got him. All right, Amy G is here. Let's check in. Amy.
All right, gentlemen, an update for fans on Fresno Grizzlies outfielder Darren Ford. He gave us all a big scare the other night, diving for a ball. He collided head first into the wall. He was carted off the field, and no signs of a thumbs up or anything at the time, but since has done really well. He was diagnosed with a concussion, and assistant GM Bobby Evans of the Giants has been keeping tabs, gentlemen. He has a sore neck and a sore back, and as soon as the signs from the concussion die down a bit, he will resume baseball activity, so he's doing real well, guys.
Great. Good news, and thank you for that, Amy.
He is a wonderful young man, and we got a great chance to be around him, and he was a big part of the Giants winning a world championship. Glad that he's back in the Giants organization. Glad that he's doing fine.
1-1 to Nolan Arenado. Arenado last night 2 for 4. He scored a run. He's a good young player. 1 for 8 lifetime against Kane. And a call strike, 1-2.
Oh, that is a very good slider, and that really is a good sign. That's a quick little biter on the outside corner in perfect location.
Pop straight back and out of play.
Now, what he's doing with the fastball right now is what Matt Cain does. He'll establish the knee-high location early in the count, then he'll finish you off with elevator fastballs, the high fastball up around the letters, out over the plate or in on the hands. He's established the changeup. Just let him know he's getting that slider over.
Buster Posey will give chase, but it's going to be in the seats. Arenado, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hitting at 256, a couple of big flies, 7 driven in. Ooh, good take, 2-2.
Yeah, that's a good pitch when you have leverage over a hitter in a count, sitting on a 1-2 count. You drop this down. I mean, hitter's in a protect mode. That's right there where he's got to think seriously about covering that pitch, especially when that slider was called a strike early in the bat.
Sandoval can't get it. It's over the bag. That's a fair ball. So Arenado's going to have a 2-out double with DJ LeMahieu coming up. So here's LeMahieu. Kane doesn't have to pitch to LeMahieu if he chooses not to. He's got first base open. Giants probably don't have a whole lot on Brett Anderson as a hitter, but he does have a hit this year. He's 1 for 3. Fastball high.
I mean, Brett Anderson's only got 7 at-bats in the big league, so that was his first big league hit he got earlier this year. But bottom line is you don't have to give in to LeMahieu. Make him hit your pitch.
Look out. Up and in, 2 balls and no strikes. Giants come in with a record of 7-4, same record as the Dodgers. The Diamondbacks are 5-6. Diamondbacks are 1-4 on the road and 4-2 at home. Three and 0, so you can see what Kane is doing.
Well, and that's how you should pitch a hitter who has a runner in scoring position when you have a pitcher on deck. And this is the toughest part about being an 8th place hitter. And now they're just going to put him on.
In the American League, you don't have to worry about even dealing with it if you're an 8th place hitter. Yep, the horse is pitching. Here's Anderson. Swing. Ain't gonna miss. No balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, he's pitching him like he's Troy Tulowitzki. First pitch, good. Changeup.
Nothing in 2.
Backed him up. Changeup, changeup.
0-2. Well, why not, right?
Yeah, he's going to keep swinging at him.
"25 pitches this inning for Matt Cain. A couple of strikeouts, a double. Really the intentional walk. Those 4 pitches. I know they count, but 2-2.
Four pitches, 4 changeups. I don't think I've ever seen Matt Cain throw 4 pitches in a row with 4 changeups.
I agree with you. Got him. Cain strikes out the side. 2 runners left. It'll be Morris, Sanchez, Arias coming up. Park, we got the deal for you. It's called the new Docker's Deck. This outdoor premium space has unique elevated view of the field located under the iconic glove in left center field. Seating up to 18 people, includes a snack bar and beverage package for all guests. For more information or to book Docker's Deck, call 415-972-2298 and ask for Mario.
Yeah, Mario gets it done.
Here's Morris. It'll be Morris, Sanchez, and Arias. One ball and no strikes. Morris hitting .394. Taps this one to third. Arenado charging. And is throwing plenty of time. Morris is retired. And that'll bring up Hector Sanchez. Hector Sanchez, back-to-back games. He caught last night, back behind the dish today. Give Bruce Bochy an opportunity to let Sanchez work with Cain, and also give Brandon Belt a chance to watch instead of play. Because Belt, who started out hot, has really been struggling.
Especially against lefties.
Sanchez takes low and in. 0 for 3 in the game last night for Hector Sanchez. Did hit the ball hard a couple of times. There's Belt. Oh, yeah. Good spot for both. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Where do Gamer Babes come from? They come from Gamer Babes. It's a great shot of it.
Arias to follow. 1-2.
That's one of those swings where halfway into it you realize, like,
No,
should not have swung.
I don't want to do that.
But that's a good curveball. Hector Sanchez just got impressed by Brett Anderson.
Look out.
Darryl Galt, I think he did a veteran move there. Just kind of get out of the way of that one.
I see Darryl duck.
Yeah, he did.
Probably what I would have done. 1-2 pitch. Fouled out of play.
All right, Darryl. Look out, Darryl.
Darryl, there's a reason why you're down there, for crying out loud. Yeah, plus you can't come to the yard having spent all night out.
Yeah, I mean, get your sleep at home.
Sanchez swinging at a pitch in the dirt. That's that real big breaking ball. 2 down, second strikeout. Here's Arias. Arias hitting 143. He's got an RBI. Zarzana. George. Sacramento kid. Watching Arias bounce this one to Arenado at third. He will straighten up and throw, and that'll end the inning. Through 2 innings here at the yard, it's 0-0. Eighth year of Comcast Sportsnet All-Star Teacher Program presented by Provident Credit Union. Today's nominee is Sarah Coyle from Roosevelt School in Redwood City. Sarah is one of 5 finalists with a chance to win $20,000 for his or her school. She's a 7th grade English teacher, English language arts and social studies teacher. Provident Credit Union donates $10,000 to the prize. She is very involved in the community outreach. To vote for Sarah, visit www.csnbayarea.com/all-star-teacher. And no, I will not repeat that.
Well, why not? Come on.
Here's Charlie Blackmon. He opened up the ball game with a base hit to left field. Rolls this one off his foot. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
This is the hottest man on the planet right here. Lead the major leagues in hitting. And if you watch his swing, he really doesn't doesn't have a big swing, and he's got a lot of balance in his lower body. Good foundation right now. He's using the whole field. He's got it going.
So a bit outside, at least in the eyes of Marvin Hudson. It's 2 balls and a strike. Three and one.
What does he have? Like a big camera?
Bring a few things to play with.
She's digging it.
And the walk on the high fastball.
Let's take a look at the pitch grips that Matt Cain will use in his outing. And there's your backbone right there, the 4-seam fastball. Thumb right between the middle finger and the forefinger underneath it. And there's a 2-seam fastball with your thumb slightly moved over underneath the forefinger. And then there's the slider offset, and both the forefinger and the middle finger are getting grips on the seams. And there's a curveball with a pressure point on the middle finger behind the seam. And then there's the circle change. And he'll use them all.
So Blackman at first. Remember, he was at first when Cain threw the ball down the right field line for an error. But he's got the speed to steal a bag, so he's going to keep him close. Where it goes. And a slow roller, and this is going to be a thing of beauty. Unbelievable. With Arias giving up his position to cover second, now it puts runners at first and second.
It's one of those things. I mean, too far for Buster Posey to get to it. No chance with all the momentum of Arias going to second base to come back. Barnes is just not going to give you that much time to get to it and get a throw off of. So moving the runner just set the whole play up, and that's something that Walt Weiss, the skipper for the Rockies, will do a lot. I mean, he likes to move his runners, straight steal, hit and run.
So Cain now in trouble, a walk and an infield hit. As here's Gonzalez. No balls and 1 strike.
Cain goes right at him with a fastball.
Tulowitzki to follow. 3rd inning. Breaking ball, 0-2.
Oh, perfect pitch. Backdoor to man. I don't understand what Gonzalez is doing with this type of power. For him to show bunt an 0-1 count. I mean, I know he hasn't had good success against Cain, but I can't imagine Walt Weiss too overly excited about that train of thought.
And a high fastball, 1-2.
Throw it up there and let him see that fastball good in an area where he can't hurt you, then come back with a changeup.
One and 2 to Carlos Gonzalez. Got him.
Or a curveball and lock him up on the outside corner with a little wraparound locator. Beautiful pitching. And anytime you take a guy with the type of reputation Gonzalez has and set him packing without getting off a swing, you've done your job. And that's the strikeout he was looking for.
So here's Tulowitzki, who skied one out to left field to end the 1st inning. Now Cain can pitch for the strikeout or ground ball. Nice play by Hector Sanchez. 1 ball and no strikes. At second is Charlie Blackmon. Brandon Barnes is at first. Now the runners go, and the throw to third is going to be late, and it's a double steal.
Well, I mean, that's a big play, but now it allows Matt Cain to select as to who he wants to throw to, and Blackmon had a huge jump. Not a whole lot that Hector Sanchez could do. We talked about the great success that Tulowitzki has had against Cain. Now, you're not going to see much to hit now with an open base, so that stolen base may work against the Rockies.
2 balls and a strike.
I mean, I know you put 2 runners in scoring position, but with a guy like Tulowitzki who can hit the ball at the ballpark, you're in scoring position if you're at first base. And if you steal bases and all of a sudden you take away a pitcher's intent to get in the strike zone, and you've done that hitter some harm.
Hit out to right for Pence. Pence is going to catch. Here's the throw home. It's on line, but scoring is Blackmon, and it's 1-0 Colorado. For whatever reason, Barnes did not go to third. Tulowitzki a sacrifice fly.
And he does a pretty good job of hitting the pitch that was off the plate away. And even the strong arm of Hunter Pence, no match for the speed of Blackmon. Nice at bat.
So here's Rosario. Struck out in the second. He can hit. You got to be careful with him as he fouls it out of play. A leadoff walk comes back to bite Cain here in the third. And Cain will spin around and chase Barnes. Way outside and low. On deck is Justin Morneau. And Cain again. Spins around and chases Barnes back. A run on 3 hits for the Rockies. And now a pickoff play put on, and just getting back is Barnes.
Just a little late going. Barnes getting a healthy lead, and Matt Cain, he knows it. He's one of the quickest 2-second base out of the stretch position on the Giants staff. He timed it a little bit sooner, where the ball and Arias get to the base at the same time. They have a better chance of getting him.
One and two. You can see Rosario's a little bit like Pablo Sandoval, where all the pickoff plays and all that really makes him anxious to have the ball come to the plate.
Well, and I think that has something to do with why Matt Cain is turning around a lot. Rosario is a very good hitter, especially above the belt. I mean, he loves mistakes up, and he's got outstanding power, but he will chase below the strike zone. He will go after balls in the dirt, and he will get antsy.
Took that one. It's 2-2.
Good pitch. 62 pitches here in the third inning for Kane. That's a lot of work and a lot of stretch time.
Very high, middle of the diamond. Crawford, side retired. A run on one hit, one left, 1-0 Colorado.
For our AT&T Uverse Rewind, we go back to May 24th, 2000. That's when Sean Estes had one of the best nights of his career. That's when he hit a grand slam, had 5 RBIs, and oh, by the way, he pitched a complete game shutout. Does not get any better than that. Sean Estes, one of our all-time favorite Giants, even got bow downs from the great Barry Bonds. So that's our AT&T Uverse Rewind. Giants won that game against Montreal 18-0. But here, Giants trail 1-0, and Brandon Crawford's going to lead things off here for San Francisco. Crawford stepping in, hitting a cool .303, and he's been doing a lot of damage against left-handed hitters. Left-handed pitchers, rather.
Shortens up to bunt, and he takes a strike. Crawford, Kane on deck, and then Angel Pagan. 1-0 Colorado. On the ground sharply, Tulowitzki dives. He gets up, he throws, and they got him. Nice play.
I'll tell you what, I mean, that was a nasty ground ball. That was a top spin seed. And when this thing comes up, this is really a great example of great hands. Tulowitzki, a Gold Glove winner, shows you why. He's considered one of the best. Didn't have a lot of time and a lot of chance to show a whole lot of range because that ball just got on him too quickly. And once he gets up, uses one of the strongest shortstop arms in all of baseball. Nice play.
Here's Kane. Kane 1 for 4 on the season.
But another good at bat from Crawford against a left-handed pitcher.
Pagan to follow. Kane laying in the weeds on the 2-0 pitch, fouls it out of play. 3-1. Giants will take a base runner. And the walk. Go figure.
Wow.
Dodgers are in town next week. Tuesday and Wednesday are 7:15 starts. The first 20,000 fans attending the game on the 16th. They're going to receive a 2014 magnet schedule courtesy of Remax, and then day baseball on the very next day, a 12:35 start. Visit sfgiants.com/tickets. Pagan takes low and in. Dodgers are playing in Arizona tonight and then tomorrow. Tuesday opens up that series here. Pulled on the ground, foul.
And we talked about the idiosyncrasies of Hunter Pence in the on-deck circle. I mean,
our guys in the truck love that shot.
Well, and they say the same thing every time they show it. It never gets old. It is so unusual.
1-2.
That is such an acute angle. That breaking ball that Anderson's throwing. I mean, guys aren't doing much with it. And he's had a good one since the first inning. And he's riding that horse.
We're down late off of that one. Two balls and two strikes. Fouled out of play.
Oh, and it's in your mind when you're thinking about that breaking ball, and all of a sudden he throws a high fastball at 91 out of the plate. You do well just to get a piece and fight it off.
Kane at first, one out. Pence on deck. Tap to short. Arenado is going to get the out at second. So Pagano reach on the fielder's choice.
So what's the rule of thumb for a third baseman as to what he should and should not take? If he's going to his left, he takes everything he can get to. And he showed pretty good range on that.
Here's Pence.
He knew he had some time. He didn't have a lot of speed in the base pass with Kane, but still a nice pick.
Pence had a base hit to right field in the first. No balls and one strike. Pablo Sandoval on deck. Pagan at first, two outs. Right there at 89, 0-2. Oh, and 2.
Anderson is not really quick out of the stretch, but he's got a good move. And you got to be careful if you're over at first base.
Rolled to third. Charging is Arenado. And that'll end the inning. No runs, a walk, one left through 3. Rockies 1. Giants nothing.
hashtag CSNBA fan photo. Name and hometown for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. Tweet your photo, name, and hometown.
Yep. Mikey, someday you and I are going to do a game out there.
They got it knocked right there. Yep. Where else would they rather be? Get a 2 thumbs up, baby.
Now, you think they're listening to John and Dave?
Yes, I do.
Here's Morneau, who takes wide, 1-0. 1-0 Colorado. Morneau waited nicely, but fouls it back on the curveball. I think they had to put up a big flat screen for people in the Cove to watch the game when they're sitting in their boats.
You know what? Just like they do at the park, within the park in San Diego.
Yep.
I think that's the coolest idea I've ever heard. We need to make a suggestion.
I mean, more people then would go into the Cove.
Yeah.
Tap foul that may have gotten Sanchez. It's 2-2. Our kids have spent some time out there, and I think they said that there's a spot out there where you can see a little bit of the scoreboard, which gives you an idea what's going on.
I mean, you'd have 100 boats out there.
Oh my goodness! Maybe they don't want to encourage that. 2-2 pitch. Foul back. The overshift is on. Got him. After a strikeout, let's check in with Amy G.
All right, gentlemen, we all know how smart and talented the Giants hitting coach Bam Bam Mullins is. I mean, he's a knight. He speaks 5 languages. Clearly, the talent runs in the family. You are looking at Bam Bam's daughter, Danielle. She sang the anthem before today's game. Not only is she beautiful, she's talented. Dwayne and Mike, you have daughters. You must know how very proud Bam Bam was at that moment, gentlemen.
He was not thinking about hitting. I can tell you that when that young lady was singing. Beautiful. Yes. Singing, beautiful looking. Just a great afternoon for Bam Bam.
She nailed it. So nice going, Sir Hensley.
No balls and a strike. Arenado drives it out to Pence, who barely has to move.
And that's what Kane needs. He needs some quick outs. That pitch total is starting to get a little heavy. He's up at 71.
LeMahieu drew a walk. Took 3 pitches, and then the 4th one, the Giants said, all right, let's just walk him intentionally. And a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1. Three hits for the Rockies, 1 for the Giants. Way outside to even the count. That jacket never gets old.
It does
I'm
not.
Sorry.
I've never seen that jacket. That's a good one.
Why do I think that within the next 3 or 4 days you might have one in your closet?
Never know.
Never know. I want to get that. Two and 1 to LeMahieu. Nope, 3-1. And a full count.
Hey, he's located that fastball better than the previous 2 starts. It's been the type of location that we're used to seeing him have. What he needed to do coming into the start. It's one of his big keys.
Out of play. We'll do it again. Three balls, 2 strikes. And the walk. Well, if you were looking for a quick out, it didn't happen with LeMahieu. So that walk will allow Anderson to hit here in the 4th. Anderson struck out looking in the 2nd. Rolls this one to Crawford, to Posey, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a walk, 1 left. For the Giants, the big fellas. Sandoval, Posey, Morse coming up. I don't know if Anderson has an issue, but the trainer has come out to take a look at the Rockies starter. Maybe a blister. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but certainly of concern.
He may have split a cuticle on the side of his fingernail. But if that thing lit up, there's no way you can stay out there and throw around a fingernail problem.
He was in some discomfort right there.
It's not a fingernail. It's something in his hand.
That's a tendon or who knows. The trainer's looking at the manager going, I don't know what to do.
I don't know if it's a cramp. He's throwing a lot of curveballs, and you never know. I mean, it's the throwing machine of baseball is a pretty sensitive issue, and he's out.
He's gone. So we're going to get a new pitcher when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. We'll be back. has left the game. We're not sure if this aggravated it or if this caused it, but watch the grimace on Anderson when he made contact coming out of the box.
Yeah, his top hand, his left hand, where he has all the discomfort, comes off the bat right there. And again, I mean, we don't know if that caused it, but it definitely didn't help it. So now there's going to be a new pitcher, and he's going to have as much time as he wants to get loose. Tommy Kahnle, we saw him earlier in the series last night. It's the 5th game that he's come into, and he's got good stuff. Kahnle's got a low to mid-90s fastball. He will cut the fastball. Throws a changeup and a slider. Kahnle, 24 years old. We were talking about Dan Asagna last night, or he was last night's umpire. And if you go back to Game 2 of the World Series, Madison Bumgarner with Prince Fielder at first base. And watch the relay from Blanco to Scudero to Posey in a very close play. Asagna calls him out, and Fielder just goes ballistic. He thought he was safe. An absolutely perfect relay. And when they replayed it, it proved that Asagna's call was absolutely spot on. And it proved to be a momentum-changing play in that game.
And the other thing, too, Mike, is it kept Bumgarner's number of runs that he's allowed in the World Series intact. None.
Never allowed it in. And there you see the World Series banner that flies above this ballpark. Remarkable numbers for Madison Bumgarner in 2 starts, never given up a run.
You can see he was backing up to play, and he was like, yeah, baby, now we're talking. Remember that start, he'd really struggled, looked tired, but Zito beats Verlander, and Bumgarner the next day he beat Pfister.
And because of those efforts, the Giants get to hang a second banner up in this ballpark. Well, the Giants are going to take Jackie Robinson Day this Tuesday, April 15th at 7:15 start. And in honor of Jackie's legendary number 42, the only number retired across all of Major League Baseball, you can purchase 2 center field bleacher tickets for only $42. So go to sfgiants.com/tickets and use the coupon code Jackie42 to take advantage of this offer. Again, the coupon code Jackie42, and you can purchase these online.
Time now for our cold, hard facts, and it's brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Arenado, one of 5 players last season under 25 to win a Gold Glove. This was the most players under 25 to win that award since 1958, when 5 future Hall of Famers won their defensive excellence. How about that?
Oh, he could pick it.
You want the names, or you want to guess, or?
Yeah, I want them.
All right. Mazeroski, Kaline, Frank, Aaron, Aparicio. How about that?
That's a pretty good bunch to be in the same group of.
Machado, Arenado, Hosmer, Salvador Perez, and Simmons from the Braves. Pretty good group.
Those guys. That's legit right there.
By the way, we just know him as Frank. You knew that, right?
Yeah. Frank.
He was Mr. Robinson for a while, and then. So here's Sandoval facing Tommy Kahnle, and there's a shot into the gap. Can it get by Blackman? It does. Sandoval on the move. Is he going to go for it? He puts down the anchor, and he's got a double. One pitch. And the Giants have the tying run at second base.
Tommy Kahnle just trying to get a first pitch fastball in the strike zone to get a rhythm. He leaves it upstairs, and Sandoval tomahawks one right in the gap. And Charlie Blackmon almost ruins the party. I mean, he came real close to catching this thing.
Ooh.
And watch Pablo Sandoval, and he almost stumbles as he's looking at this thing. Right here. He's running an agility drill.
I'm telling you, last year he wouldn't have been able to put on the brakes.
Oh, no.
He just kept on going.
He'd had to keep going.
Here's Buster Posey, who bounced out to short. Sandoval with his lead, and Posey takes low. That's an easy 96 from Canely.
Oh, he's always had a good fastball. The thing about Canely is it's pretty straight, so he has to locate. Generally, when he makes mistakes with that fastball out over the middle, they get hit.
And Posey waits on the breaking ball and rolls it foul. One ball and one strike. High to Buster Posey, 2-1. Beautiful day, lots of sunshine. A bit on the cool side, but folks here in San Francisco are used to that. If you're in the shade, you got a jacket on. If you're in the sun, maybe not. Three and one.
Well, this is where you're in the driver's seat. You've seen the changeup, you've seen the slider, you've seen a couple of fastballs, just sitting on a 3-1 count. Advantage Posey.
And he walked him with a breaking ball.
Well, he had an open base. But that was definitely some respect, staying away from the fastball challenge. And, you know, even if you're throwing 95, 96, it just doesn't impress hitters unless you can locate, unless it's got a little movement. How about that for a gorgeous day to play baseball in?
That's a postcard.
Yep. Chamber of Commerce Day.
Here's Morris, who bounced out to third. He's 0 for 1. Look out.
94, and I don't know how he got out of the way of this thing. I mean, this is a heat seeker going, look out, Dad. And as soon as this ball goes up and in, Willeen Rosario, the catcher for the Rockies, went right out to the mound.
So it's 1 ball and no strikes. Tough spot to be in for a Rule 5 kid.
Tommy Kahnle, originally a 5th-round pick by the Yankees in 2010.
Rule 5, you got to stay here. You got to be in the big leagues. And you can see why a team would take a chance on him with his live fastball. One ball and no strikes to Morris. On the ground, it should be a pair. Tulowitzki to LeMahieu. On the play, Sandoval goes to third.
You know, you mentioned Frank Robinson earlier, talking about how good of a defensive player he was. To give you an idea what kind of a manager he was. Situation right there where you have runners at first and second, and a guy hits a sure ground ball. He wanted the guy who was on second base to let it hit him.
I mean, it's a hit for the runner. I mean, he's out, but you stay away from the double play. I mean, those are the type of things that Frank Robinson would think about. And it really does make sense. And Sandoval had a chance to do it right there.
Here's Hector Sanchez, although you have to sell it, right?
Yeah.
If you do it on purpose, they're not going to let you do that. Oh, and 1 to Sanchez. Struck out in the second. Foul, 0-2.
One thing the Giants did so well on their 7-game road trip that started the season was hit with 2 outs of runners in scoring position. Since they've come back to AT&T, they have not been as productive in the same scenario.
A nasty pitch. Sanchez strikes out. So Kahnle does a good job after a double and a walk. 5th inning coming up.
Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Provident Credit Union. Make life easy.
One nothing Colorado as we head to the 5th inning. Matt Cain, a lot of run in the 3rd. He's walked 3, 1 intentional. He's got 6 strikeouts, and he's not had a clean inning. And he would like to have a clean inning. It'll be the top of the order. Blackman to lead things off, then Barnes, and then Gonzalez. Only 5 hits in the game. 3 for Colorado, 2 for the Giants. Blackman's been on base twice. A single and a walk. And a breaking ball for a strike. Pence coming in. Pence can't get it. Blackman's going to end up at second. Yes. And the magic wand is working.
Boy, I'll say. But to Blackman's credit, I mean, he was sniffing that it might drop from the get-go. He was going hard. Even the speed of Hunter Pence cannot come in and make up for it. That's a hit you get when you're hot, flat out. And there is nobody hotter than Blackman. And just like that, Rockies have something going here.
So here's Barnes. Barnes is 1 for 2. Again, Blackman on base to lead off an inning. There's the bunt. Sandoval will take his time. On the play, Blackman moves to third.
Well, it sets up a strikeout situation now for Kane against Carlos Gonzalez.
He's gotten him twice. Actually, he's gotten him once. A pop-up, and then he got him looking on a breaking ball in the third.
Yeah, he'll take either one of those right now.
And it's going to be the pop-up. 2 down.
Well, that's better than a strikeout. You do it on one pitch.
His ownage, unbelievable.
It's just, you can't explain it. How a guy has dominance over one player, whether it be the pitcher over the hitter or the hitter over the pitcher. You can't explain it. But Kane's got it over Gonzalez.
Now 4 for 44 lifetime. So here's Tulowitzki, 0 for 1, a sacrifice fly in the third. Blackman at third with 2 outs. Out of play, no balls and 1 strike.
Rockies started Brett Anderson. But today's game.
Here's the 0-1 to Tulowitzki. Left index finger contusion is what they're saying on Brett Anderson. One and 1 to Tulowitzki. 1 and 2.
We talked about one of the things that Kane had to do better was tighten up that breaking ball, especially the right-handed hitters. The right-handed hitters have been giving him all the problems. And his slider today, that little cutter that he just threw to the whiskey, that's noticeably different than his previous 2 starts.
So we pitch number 87 for Kane. Line drive. Pagan. Side retired. Kane pitches through it, although Tulowitzki hit it on the nose. He remains 1-0.
Bay Area is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
Gorgeous day here at the yard. It's a 1-0 lead for Colorado. Anderson left with an injury. Tommy Kahnle came in and did a nice job in the fourth after allowing a double and a walk. So Kahnle now will go after the bottom three in this Giants lineup. It'll be Arias, Crawford, and Kane.
Well, he's got to be feeling pretty good after he pitched out of that runners at first and second, nobody out jam. Kahnle's more of a fly ball strikeout guy, not a sinker baller, but he got one to get that double play. And that was big in the inning. What a reminder to check out the Warriors taking on the Trailblazers tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Pregame live at 5:30 p.m. You'll see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Warriors head to Portland as they continue their journey to the playoffs. Complete Warriors coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNBayArea.com with Monty Poole, one of our old pals. Home of the Warriors basketball is right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Check it out.
Yeah, congratulations to the Warriors. They clinched a spot in the playoffs. Way to go. They had a 1-year drought. Here's Arias. Arias shows bunt, and he takes the pitch high.
You're not going to get that high strike with Marvin Hudson, who's done a nice job today behind the plate. No ball umpire.
So Arias really challenging Kahnle into throwing a strike, and he finally does. Two balls and a strike. Anderson went 3, allowed a hit, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. It's going to be a souvenir. It's 2-2.
You know, the one thing about Arias is he will drop that back shoulder. That high fastball could give him some problems.
Arias now in a battle. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hits it on the ground to short. Tulowitzki waits on it. 1 out.
Well, time to log on to CSNBayArea.com and decide the player of the game. Now, your vote counts. The winner will be revealed during Giants postgame live. So follow the action on the diamond like never before with enhanced Bloomberg stats and much, much more. Giants in-game live on CSNBayArea.com. Log on right now and vote.
So here's Crawford. Crawford hit a bolt, a one-hop shot that Tulowitzki went to his left. Dove, picked it, and threw him out. He's 0 for 1. Now trying to reach for Kane. And it's no balls and a strike.
It looked like he made up his mind to swing at that no matter what on the first pitch.
Sometimes that works. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Not a lot of hitting this afternoon. Best chance the Giants had is when Sandoval opened up the 4th with a double. Up the middle. LeMahieu, big tall second baseman, throws him out, and here's Kane. So Kane will hit. He drew a walk in the 3rd. First pitch to Kane, swing and a miss, 0-1.
I think one of the hardest things for any reliever to do is to come into a situation where you have to warm up after an injury, where you warm up in the middle of the field. That's a weird thing. And Canely, after giving up the leadoff double in the walk, has really settled in. Got a nice rhythm going right now. Everything out of the stretch.
3-pitch see you later to Kane. And that'll do it. 6th inning coming up, and it will be Willeen Rosario to lead it off. Here's our McDonald's true stories. It happened on this date in 2004. On the day he received his unprecedented 6th National League MVP trophy, Barry Bonds slugged home run number 660 of his career. Tied his godfather Willie Mays for 3rd on the all-time list. It was a 3-run shot off of Brewers right-hander Matt Kinney. It landed in the cove and it put the Giants on top 5-4. Giants win 7-5. He hit a few more after that as well.
Yes, he did. More than anybody else that ever played this game, 762. And that's where he hit number 756 that put him past Hank Aaron.
So here's Rosario. Kane with 87 pitches. Rosario is 0 for 2. Strikeout and a pop-up. You got to be careful with Rosario on that first pitch because he's going to let it fly.
Yeah, especially up.
Goes the other way. That pitch was not a strike. It was about 6 inches outside. It's 0-2.
Matt Belle-Isle starting to get heated up for Colorado.
Every game against the Giants, Belle-Isle.
I don't think he's ever not pitched in a game against the Giants. At least it seems that way.
I'm serious. Look out. Moves Rosario off the plate 2-2. Outside 3-2. Justin Morneau on deck. This should be a hittable pitch for Rosario. Tapped slowly, but foul. Good thing. I don't think Sandoval would have had a shot.
He would not. And I know you're saying, wait a second, Rosario's a catcher, right? He runs pretty well. And with as deep as Sandoval was playing, I think that would have been a play where Sandoval wouldn't even have made a throw.
So it's 3-2 to Willeen Rosario. Leading off here in the 6th. Hit well into left center field, but it's Pagan tracking it, and he'll make the catch. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
Well, Dwayne and Mike, it is time for the fan photo contest. It is sponsored by AT&T. Take your best fan photo, hashtag it after you tweet it, CSNBA fan photo. Add your name, your hometown, and you'll have a chance for that photo to be shown on an upcoming broadcast. These guys are totally ready. This is who you're competing with. Let's see it, guys. Take your photo.
There's like 12 selfies right there. Here's Morneau, who lifts it foul down the left field line and out of play.
Selfies. I mean, that was something that nobody, I mean, that meant nothing about 5 years ago. Now it's just like, that's, if you don't take like 7 selfies a day, something's wrong. Yeah, Mike Muldowney.
Oh, he does that all day long.
At least 20.
Morneau rolls this one to Buster Posey. So Buster gets a little work.
You watch Buster Posey play first base, and you don't have the feeling that it's a catcher playing first base once every 10 days. I mean, he looks like he plays it every day. Very comfortable over there. Remember, he was a shortstop at Florida State when he started his collegiate career.
Yep.
And there was a game at Florida State that Buster Posey played every position. And he pulled it off.
Here's Arenado, 1 for 2. And a strike. This pop-up is backing out of play. So a quick 0-2 to Arenado. Giants will have Pagan, Pence, Sandoval, Posey, and Morris coming up in the 6th. Good swing, and it's again 0-2.
Next pitch will be number 100 on the day for Kane.
Low, 1-2. Two and two. Dodgers tonight in Arizona. Greinke against Miley. Pretty good matchup.
It should be. Two pitchers throwing well.
Arenado rolls it to Sandoval at third. And his throw in plenty of time. So now the top of the order coming up for the Giants. We'll see if it'll be Belle Isle coming in. It's 1-0 Colorado.
The Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers, offering business and personal insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. Visit us at hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
After 5.5, 1-0 Colorado. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Everyday Matt Belle Isle, the new pitcher now for Colorado. See what he's done in 6 games. Really hadn't gotten it going yet. He's hitting some bad luck. Hadn't given up a lot of hits, but they've been big hits. And when you face Belle Isle, you're going to see good velocity. Low 90s with pretty good sink. When he's right, you're going to see a lot of balls on the ground.
Strike to Pagan, who against Anderson was 0 for 2. Belle Isle got into the game yesterday, gave up a hit, did not get an out. One and two. Pagan, Pence, Sandoval. Giants need a base runner or 2 or 3. Giants only had 6 hits in that win last night. The Rockies had 11. But a grand slam will cure all of those problems. Pagan out swinging.
Big, slow breaking ball. Belle Isle's got 2 different types of breaking balls, a slider and that curveball. We don't see many curveballs, but very effective on that pitch. And we talked about how entertaining it is to watch Michael Morse on the left and Hunter Pence on the right in the on-deck circle. They do things that we've never seen before.
Here's Pence. Fouls it back.
He just missed one right there.
Do not get cheated, young man.
No. If it hurts, don't swing.
Oh, 2.
Belle Isle came right back at him again.
Pence, lifetime 6 for 21 with a couple of doubles. And the 1-2. Breaks his bat, and it's caught by Morneau. 2 down. And here's Sandoval. Sandoval double to open up the 4th.
Well, a lot of things going on in that little rig. Very colorful.
Yeah. So here's Sandoval. 1 for 2. So Belle dealing right now.
Yeah, he's got a nice feel of that curveball. That was the strikeout pitch to Pagan. Here he opens it up against Sandoval for strike 1.
Arenado on the backhand. He'll throw from his knees. And that is a great play to end the inning.
Wow.
Looked like Sandoval had at least a single, certainly a possibility for a double, but Arenado says, I'll have none of that. Remember,
The San Francisco This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. You can join the millions of subscribers, watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit sfgiants.com for details. Kane to LeMahieu. No balls and a strike. We've reached the 7th. Pitchers duel. Anderson started. He left with an injury. Canely and Belle have done a very nice job. Kane has gone the whole way for the Giants, and he's over 100 pitches. Tap foul, 0-2. The Rockies have a pinch hitter out on deck, and that's Charlie Culberson.
He's got a seat in the house right there.
Yep.
Good looking hat.
Blocked by Hector Sanchez, 1-2. I guess I kind of missed the point of that. Were they sitting in the Kruko seat?
Well, yeah.
Oh, right.
It is a good seat.
And we did a game there last year.
Yes, we did. It's fun. Good view of the game. Got a guy up here at the club level that has his glove, stood up, had a beer in one hand, glove in the other hand, made a nice play, didn't spill a drop.
Nice. Two and two. Seventh inning. Got him.
Good hard slider. I mean, that's a kill pitch he hadn't had with this consistency that he's had it today, the previous two starts. I mean, that's big, sharp, nasty, perfect location. Grab some pine.
Here's Charlie Culberson, who picked up a pinch hit single in the game last night. With that base hit, he also picked up an RBI. That made it a 6-5 game, and that ended up being the final. And a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. This gentleman brought Marco Scutaro to the Giants in 2012, right around the end of July. No swing, it's a ball and a strike.
There you see the day for Matt Cain. 7 strikeouts. More than he had the previous 2 starts combined. But he spotted the fastball well. He's thrown the changeup off the fastball very well. The slider has come alive, and that's the big difference. There has not been that roll in it. We saw the previous 2 starts. He's got to feel very good about how he's throwing the ball today.
No swing.
Close.
2-2. Got him. 8 strikeouts for King.
As we've seen so many times, Cain look as if he's getting stronger as the game wears on. That was a curveball that he saved for a little 2-strike surprise. No, and looking at that pitch, it was not a curveball. It was a slider, and a good one.
I usually just go with off-speed pitch.
Yeah, I think Culberson thought that was a little high.
Here's Blackman. First time today that Blackman hasn't let off an inning, and he takes a strike. Javi Lopez jogging down to the bullpen as that ball gets away from King.
So how do you pitch to a 500 hitter who's leading the major leagues in hitting?
Well, nice opposite field stroke for a hit in the first. He walked in the third, and then he blooped one to right for a double in the 5th. You have him hit it to Crawford.
That's all you do.
Buster Posey's going to lead things off. good one. It's a 1-0 lead. When it's time for a change, things speedy. Oil change and auto service. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Adam Ottavino, the new pitcher now for Colorado. We'll see a big sinker. They'll go low to the mid-90s with the velocity. He's got a little slider he throws off it and a changeup. And he really unhinges as he drops his backside to get gathered to make his pitch.
Posey 2 for 7 lifetime against Ottavino.
He's a big guy, 6'5", 215, out of Brooklyn, New York.
Up the middle, slowed down. Tulowitzki will throw out Posey.
What did that hit? Did that hit Ottavino or the mound?
I don't know.
Man, that's some bad luck right there. It's Ottavino who comes around the backside and just deflects the ball, and that saved a base hit. Once he slowed it down for Tulowitzki, it became a routine play. And that's kind of how it's gone today for the Giants offensively.
Here's Morris. Morris is 0 for 2. Bounce into a double play in the 4th. Boy, pretty good pitch, but he doesn't get the call. A ball and a strike. One and two.
Big slider. Good one. Came crashing hard across the plate.
Hector Sanchez is on deck. It's 1 and 2 to Michael Morris.
Ooh.
Digs that one out and fouls it back. It stays at 1 and 2. Got him. All right, let's check in one more time with Amy G.
All right, Dwayne and Mike, fans may have heard there's a friendly competition happening inside the Giants clubhouse. This is Bam Bam's brainchild to motivate these guys at the plate. It certainly has been working so far this season. He created 3 teams within that clubhouse. They are Team Laser Swag. No surprise that Hunter Pence is the captain of that team. Team Guerrilla, Panda's the captain of that one, and Team Brandon. Now Buster Posey, Ere Adrianza are on that team. Tim Lincecum and Bam Bam told me that all their names translate to Brandon from where they're from. So Georgia, Seattle, Venezuela, their names mean Brandon. So that's why they got Team Brandon. Bums on Team Guerrilla. They scored a lot of points last night. Who's going to score some today, Dwayne?
Somebody, please. 1-0 to Hector Sanchez.
Team Laser Swag?
Laser Swag. First thing that would jump into my mind if somebody said, can you name a team? Laser Swag.
Well, that'll be your fantasy football team this year.
Laser Swag. Out to left field for Gonzalez. And a nice inning for Ottavino. Through it. 7. 8th inning coming up.
brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Let's take a look at it. Rockies 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. Giants no runs on 2 hits, 1 error. Brett Anderson, the starter for the Rockies, had to lead the game after the 3rd inning with a left finger contusion, and his bullpen has picked him up nicely. The Rockies scored the only run on a sac fly from Troy Tulowitzki. Matt Cain was stellar, definitely his best outing this year. He was fantastic, has a good fastball, changeup, slider combination. He spotted his pitches well, 8 strikeouts in 7 innings. In the last 2 games, Giants with runners in scoring position, 1 for 13. That had been one of their strengths, and that is our Toyota game summary.
So it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
G. Machi coming in for the 6th time, off to a great start for Bruce Bochy, 2-0. 6 hits allowed, 1 walk at 4 2/3 with 5 strikeouts.
So on the first pitch, Barnes swinging away, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
No, don't you need those?
Yeah, you'd think so. Unless you're playing a trick on somebody. Gonzalez to follow. Down low to even the count at a ball and a strike. Kind of like going down the mountain, right? And you lose your poles.
Yeah, you kind of need those too, don't you?
How do you do that? How do you go back? And a high strike. It's 1-2. The worst is when you're on the lift and when your kids are small, when they start dropping things.
Gloves, goggles. Yeah, been there.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Off of his foot, and it's 1-2. So out of the box is Barmes. But now back in. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Something has got in the eye of Barnes. That was common occurrence at Candlestick. Bobby Thompson used to say he'd give up 30 at-bats a year with something in his eye. He'd take the at-bat with 1 eye on the ball. Not a good way to hit.
Popped out to right field. Hunter Pence coming in, and he's going to take charge and put it away. Well, Tuesday and Wednesday, the 15th and 16th of this month, both 7:15 start. It's the Dodger series. The first 20,000 fans attending the game on the 16th will receive a 2014 Giants magnet schedule courtesy of Remats. sfgiants.com/tickets. Here's Gonzalez. Dodgers and Giants with identical records. They're 7-4 coming into today's action. Outside to Gonzalez. Tulowitzki to follow. Hit on the ground sharply to Arias. Does a 360, 2 outs.
And a rare 0 for 4 slapped on Carlos Gonzalez. I had to believe that he was pretty excited Kane was out of the game coming into that at bat, but nice play by Arias. 0 for 4. Grab some pie and meat.
Here's Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki's got the only RBI in the game on a sacrifice fly.
And he had to earn it too. It was a nasty little slider off the plate away that he went to right field with to cash in on a run.
And the hook, and it's 0-1.
But really, the one run that the Rockies got was on a little bloop double that dropped in front of Hunter Pence in right field off the bat of Charlie Blackmon. It was just a pop-up. It really wasn't anything other than good luck that put him at second base.
Well, that was Blackman's leadoff at bat in the 5th.
Oh, that's right. He walked in. I beg your pardon.
It was the Kane walk, and then the little hit-and-run dribbler to the right side. That's what hurt him.
I'm still ticked off about that bloop double, though.
Yeah, I'm blaming him.
Old pitcher, things I just can't seem to get over.
No. They're going to say Tulowitzki swung, and Sanchez is going to just go over and tag him, and that'll end the inning.
Wow.
Machi with a nice inning here in the 8th. Now it's time for the offense to do something. Arias, Crawford, and a pinch hitter.
Morris earlier in this homestand, and we want to go back to the longest one ever hit here by a right-hander. September 18, 2001, Roy Oswald against the big cat Andres Galarraga, and he hits this thing into the night, estimated at 485 feet, and that is our Ford right choice. Barry Bonds could not believe it. I love you, man.
Well, he's a hard guy to impress. But it's time for a change. Things Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Rex Brothers, the new pitcher now for the Colorado Rockies. He is their setup man. And he's a hard thrower. I don't see many lefties that have his type of stuff. You're going to see a mid-90s fastball, good hard slider and a changeup. Not many changeups. And he's got just a little wild hair up his nose to where it's not that comfortable in the bat.
Well, Arias owns him. How many times have we said that? He's 4 for 6 lifetime. 0 for 2 in the game with a couple of ground balls. 1 ball and 1 strike. Crawford And then a pinch hitter, and it's not Madison Bumgarner, it's Hicks who's got a bat. Two balls and a strike.
I'm sure Madison Bumgarner is feeling a little slighted at not getting that pinch hit call after last night's 5 RBI night.
Three and one. There's Crawford. Hit on the ground slowly to second. And LeMahieu will make the play. So if you're Arias, you'd like a little better result on a 3-1 pitch.
That ball cut right up the bat, got up around the label, jammed him. Good pitch.
Here's Crawford, who's 0 for 2. Hicks is on deck. It's 1-0 Colorado. We are in the 8th.
Colorado has Barnes, the right fielder, playing over, really protecting the triples alley in right field.
Hit out to left field and hit well. Gonzalez back. Gonzalez, it's off the bottom of the wall. And Crawford's got a double.
And another great at bat for Crawford against the left-handed pitcher. Boy, the sun just absolutely put a whole lot of personality on this fly ball. You can see the shadow right behind Carlos Gonzalez as he goes back tracking. And then he just misjudges it. I'm not sure how well he saw it. But a one-out mistake, and just another good at bat for Brandon Crawford. I don't think anybody's going to ever even think about not playing him against the lefty.
Yeah.
He's looked fantastic.
It's the first hit for the Giants since Sandoval's double in the 4th.
Go back to April 3rd. Brandon Hicks in a critical game does something that nobody else could do. He hit a seed off Coleminter in Arizona. That was a pinch hit roll, double-decker. Giants were going to win that ball game. And here he is pinch hitting now against Brothers.
Last night, a couple of strikeouts. Way outside, 1-0. Pagan is on deck. Brothers staying away from Hicks.
He's basically saying, if you're going to take me deep, you're going to have to do it to right field. They have Blackman, the center fielder, playing about 7 steps towards the gap in right center, so they're expecting the balls to go here. They're pinching that gap.
Three 3-0.
And really pretty easy takes for Brandon Hicks. Taken all the way. Really hasn't earned the right to be able to get a green light on that pitch yet.
Took that one. If it's a good pitch, he will not take this one. 3-1. And the walk. So here's Pagan. Pagan is 0 for 3. And his numbers against Hicks, or I beg your pardon, against Brothers, he's 1 for 4, and the one hit was a home run. Crawford at second, Hicks at first. To right field. Coming in is Barnes, who runs well, so he puts it away. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Hunter Pence. Pence with a base hit in the first. He's 1 for 3.
Well, 3 RBIs coming into this at bat, and he's due.
He's had 1 hit and 4 at bats lifetime against Brothers. So Crawford at second, Hicks at first. One and 0.
1 to measure, 1 to rake. They bunch the gap in right center. And not a particular deep defensive set either.
2 and 0.
And if you're thinking about the outfield arms, the best one is in left field with Gonzalez. It's outstanding. The arm in center, the arm in right, average.
Three and 0. Sandoval is on deck. And they're loaded for the Panda.
He had an open base and he used it. That was a 3-0 slider. It looked like he wanted any part of it.
Sandoval 0 for 3 lifetime against Brothers. Jim Wright, the pitching coach, is going to come out.
I think he's going to ask him about that 3-0 slider. Basically say, hey, you got a fastball. That's what got you here. It's your best pitch. Use it. Be aggressive on this first pitch. You got a guy in that batter's box who likes to be aggressive. Go after him. Trust your stuff. See you later.
Well, here, if you're Pablo Sandoval, you got to remember that the guy out of the mound is the guy that's in trouble. So take a deep breath and put a good swing on him. No balls and 1 strike.
That's the best pitch he's throwing. That was 93-mile-an-hour paint outside corner at the knees. And if you're in that batter's box, that's not what you're looking for first pitch. Maybe you're looking fastball, but then you're not looking for perfect location knee high away. And bang, bang. 2 fastballs, and that one he threw by him.
Yeah, I think Sandoval was looking for a breaking ball. Now you got to battle him. Oh, and 2. Out of play.
Elevate by design. Tried to go upstairs with 94. So Jim Wright went out there and convinced him the best pitch he's got is the fastball, and he's come at him 3 times with it.
0-2. Nice play, Rosario. It's 1-2.
That's one of the best plays today. I mean, he had just no time to go right. Just take a swipe and hope it finds your glove, and it does. Rosario cheering his pitcher on.
Got him. And that'll end the inning. Brothers leaves him loaded. 9th inning coming up.
For our Honda player of the game, and we think that man will be Matt Cain, who was stellar today. 7 strong innings, 4 hits allowed, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, and it's one of the unfair things about baseball is that he finds himself in a situation where he could actually be the loser of the game, but he did not pitch like it. And because of that, we're making him our Honda player of the game.
It's 1-0 Colorado, 9th inning. Yasmero Petit is the new pitcher.
Take a look at Petit's numbers. This is the 5th time he's come in. Had a little trouble getting going, but he's really starting to throw the ball well of late. 7 strikeouts in 6 innings against 1 walk.
Strike to Rosario, who's 0 for 3. Slowly hit to Sandoval, and then Sandoval to Posey. 1 out. So here's Morneau. Morneau is 0 for 3. In the 9th inning for the Giants, it'll be Posey, Morris, Sanchez against LaTroy Hawkins. Here's a strike to Morneau.
Morneau, lots of power, still looking for his first home run as a Rocky this year. Matt Cain had him tied up in knots.
One and two. And that fastball is high, 2-2. Tyler Chatwood will make his first start of the season tomorrow. And he'll be facing Tim Hudson.
Arenado, the third baseman, on deck waiting.
Morneau wanted to go but held up. So it's 3-2. Here's the payoff coming up to Justin Morneau, and he got him.
And that's a hat trick.
Join us tomorrow, as I mentioned, Chatwood against Hudson. Pregame live will start at 12:30, and the first pitch will be at the top of the hour. You can see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Bay Area is the series with the Rockies will conclude tomorrow. Day off, and then the Dodgers. Here's Arenado, who's 1 for 3. Arias at second. He will make the play, and we will go to the bottom of the ninth. Posey, Moore, Sanchez, 1-0 Rockies.
Sportsnet Bay Area, in-depth sports news for the Bay Area fan. And you can know it all with Sportsnet Central. They'll have reaction in the Giants clubhouse after this game. Andrew Baggerly's post-game notes, and they'll also update you on the Masters, round 3, and what happened today in Augusta. All that and more tonight. AT&T Uber Sportsnet Central, 6 p.m.
It's 1-0 Colorado, and we get a new pitcher.
But Troy Hawkins, the veteran, 41 years of age, in his 18th year at the big league level. And this is game 4. He's 1 for 2 in save ops. 1 for 1, I beg your pardon. You take your bat against Hawkins, you're going to see a low 90s fastball that he will 2 and 4 seam. Got a hard slider, which is his best breaking ball. He also has a curveball you'll see occasionally, and a changeup. Changeup more to lefties than righties. fastball can be pretty straight at times.
Here's Buster Posey. And he takes a strike. So Posey this afternoon is 0 for 2. He drew a walk in the 4th. He has faced Hawkins before. And he's 1 for 2. Out of play, no balls and 2 strikes.
That was a hanging slider. Hawkins, a member of the Giants back in 2005, had 45 appearances for Dusty Baker. Or Felipe Alou.
0-2. Little flip job right to Morneau, 1 out.
And he jammed Buster Posey nicely.
And here's Morse. Morse hit into a double play in the 4th inning. He's hitless in 3 at bats. And the first pitch to Morris. Swing and a tapper foul, and it's 0-1. A couple of guys who have played quite a while and have not faced each other during the regular season. One ball and 1 strike. So that's the first pitch out of the strike zone from LaTroy Hawkins. So 1-2 as he ran that in on his hands.
That broke him down. I have not seen that happen for about the last week with Morse. I mean, he's getting ready to get a swing off. He doesn't break it down. He throws the head. But that movement he got from Hawkins, he did not expect, and that's what broke down the swing.
Outside, 2-2. So Morse looking for a hit or a pitch that he can maybe tie this game up. Got him.
And that's that hard slider at 88 miles per hour. Straight down bite. Good pitch. See the movement on this thing. It gets right up there and just all of a sudden disappears.
So the Giants not finished yet. They've got Hector Sanchez coming up. Sanchez is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. And he fouls this one down the left field line and out of play. It's 0-1. Belt has got 2 for 2 numbers against Hawkins, but it's going to take Sanchez getting on before Belt can come up. Oh, and 2.
There's that big curveball. Rare that he'll throw that thing for a strike, but it's an effective pitch, especially the lefties, when he does exactly what he did there. Just try and bounce it on home plate. Straight down bite with that high 3/4 release.
Hit into center field. However, Blackman's got a beat on it, and that's the ball game. So the Giants get shut out here at AT&T Park, and you really got to tip your cap to the Rockies bullpen.
Well, they ate up 6 innings when the starter, Brett Anderson, had to leave with an injury to his hand back in the 3rd. They came up and blanked the Giants and allowed just 1 hit the rest of the way. And that